All right. Well, welcome to the next episode of Meet the Band. And we have the School of Rock again. This time we have some more senior members of the School of Rock that have been in the house band for at least a couple seasons now. So with me, I have Rosie and Truman. So welcome.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Why don't we just start off with some quick introductions? Truman, you want to start us off?
Oh, yeah. I'm Truman. I play the drums at School of Rock for sure, yeah.
Nice.
My name is Rosie, and I play bass and I sing.
Nice. So tell me a little bit about when you first kind of really started enjoying listening to music or like thinking like, oh, I might want to try playing music, and like when did you start taking lessons and whatnot?
All right, yeah, this is kind of like, this is weird, but when I was younger, my friends had like a VR headset and we'd like hang out and I'd play like Beat Saber on that. And then it got to the point where I got better than him and I got my own. And I was so good, I was like, dang, I should probably, I should try playing this music, because at the time they had the Green Day like
the
song
Green Day pack
thing on it. So I would play that, and I thought like the American Idiot song and whatnot, I thought that was crazy. So I wanted to play drums because I thought it was similar.
How old were you?
Oh, shoot. I don't remember. It was probably like 10-ish, 10 or 11-ish. Okay. Yeah.
Nice. How about you, Rosie?
I think I was like 12 or 13. I had moved from Kearney, Nebraska to here. And I was at my middle school. I wanted to be in the orchestra and I didn't know what quite to play. And my orchestra teacher was like, let's play bass. So I played the big upright bass for a long time. And I really enjoyed it. And then my dad was trying to get me involved because we've always been like try to, be a well-rounded person. And he was like, this School of Rock place seems cool. And so I was like, yeah, it's pretty sick. And I was like, well, I already know upright bass. So we got like a little electric bass starter kit and I started at the School of Rock.
And how long ago was that?
I had to be around 13, so probably 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like one of your earlier programs was one of Caleb's first ones, because he did the Green Day program that I think you were in, and that was like your second one, I think, maybe.
Something like that, yeah.
Nice. So I guess, Truman, you've been in house band for this is your second season now.
Yeah,
Rosie, is this your second as well?
Third season.
This is your third season? Okay. So just talk about that experience and like, what has your time at School of Rock meant to you in the few years you've been coming here?
School of Rock is like, it's been awesome. Like I remember going and I knew nothing. My first lesson was an online lesson from my house. Was it
during COVID or something or?
No.
Okay.
I just, that's what my parents signed me up for. And my drum set was all like, it was whack and it was not set up correctly at all. And so they were like, hey, when you coming in for like a real one? I was like, wait, there's a real place? And so I came in and my life like really changed from there. And so like, and then in like a year, I think it took me a little over a year to get into house band, or maybe 2 years. I don't exactly remember. And, playing all these shows was like, the experiences are great.
Right?
My very first season was the grunge season, and I started, like, I knew upright bass, but I had never touched an electric bass. And I just remember that there was so many older people that were like, they just took me under their wing, and it was so much fun. I think it was like either a year or like a year and a half when I first auditioned for house band, and like house band really took it from here to like here. It was such a fun time. Like being on stage gave me so much confidence in myself and like changed my whole perspective on like myself. And it's just been, it just keeps going.
Nice. One of the things I talked about with Alina and Isabella, the newer members, and I kind of want to get your guys' perspective since you've been doing it for a while, but from my perspective, your first show of the season this year, right? We're at the beach house and it was just packed, right? Mm-hmm. They ran out of food. Yeah. Like it was crazy. And I know we've had shows like that, but we have plenty of shows that aren't like that as well. So like, do you guys think that the crowd is growing regularly and that we're starting to have more turnout for that? And like, and how cool is that versus, your run of the mill show where it's just parents and teachers?
I think that's awesome. Like, I mean, as performers, we really feed off the crowd. And when there's a super energetic crowd that loves us, we love them back. We like to get in there and have as much fun as possible. And I feel like it's a loop of, feedback of we're all there to perform and have fun, and it's so much fun when it's packed and everyone's excited, and it's just awesome seeing that.
Yeah. I think it was therapy. There was a group of like Harley Davidson bikers and they showed up and they were like, yeah, we saw you at the Harley Davidson show or whatever, and we started following you since then, which was like a really interesting thing. But I thought, I'm not complaining.
Right.
It's
you
so
guys
cool
are
to
kind of
hear
building
that.
your own little posse. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have the Road to Summerfest show coming up on Saturday, right? That last year was kind of our inauguration as the Future Rockers of Omaha. So if you see this before Saturday, which you should, come out, support that and whatnot. Let's talk about Summerfest a little bit, right? So Truman, last year was your first time, right?
Yeah.
And then Rosie, did you go twice?
I've gone
then?
twice,
Okay.
yeah.
So let's start with you, Rosie, since you went twice. Like, just talk us through like the first time you heard, hey, we're going to Summerfest,
Oh,
and
wow.
like getting off the bus in Milwaukee.
So the first time that I went to Summerfest was actually the first time that Lucas, our director, went to Summerfest. It was the first time I don't remember the period of time, but it had been at least 10 years since our specific School of Rock of Omaha had gone to Summerfest. So this was like a big deal. And we didn't know what to expect or anything like that. And just going there with that group the first time was so exciting. I was a new member at this point and I wasn't too like integrated with the group. And as a new member, Summerfest really like made all of us friends so fast. It is so much fun to just be there and experience that. I mean, like even in the second, and I thought like the second year I wasn't going to be as like, oh, I know what's going on, but it's still the most exciting thing ever. Like, not only are you getting closer and hanging out with your own friends and being able to play music on stages that are absolutely massive and bigger than anything we would get here, but you're also meeting all these different School Rocks from across the world. Like, we had people from Taiwan and Brazil, and like just being able to interact with teenagers that are just like me and are doing the same thing as me is so interesting to hear their different perspectives, and it's just so much fun.
Yeah. Summerfest for me, man, it's fun. It's really fun because, you go there and honestly, I had no idea what to expect, but it's really eye opening because you go and you see these other bands and you're like, it shows you like, oh, I maybe need to step it up or something, right?
Sure.
Because, you got to stand out somehow or something like that.
Everybody kind of pushes everybody a little further.
Uh-huh. And even like at the dorms, you meet a bunch of people, and even the people you already knew, you get a lot closer with because you're there for days.
Right.
And it's a ton of fun.
Nice. So what would you say, being involved in music, being involved in the School Rock, like what has that done for your life overall, right? Like how do you feel you've grown as a person or changed as a person since you started doing music?
Dang, that's a good question. I think I've met a lot of new people, and meeting new people, like the people you surround yourself with will change you, right? And I think that's for the better when it comes to music, because like my creativity and everything like that, and also, being on stage, you realize that, you have to kind of act like you're more important. And then I don't know how to describe it, but it kind of changes the way you act off of stage.
Yeah.
I would say for me, it's had a huge effect on my own confidence. Like I really found my own personal style while I was in School Rock, and all the people there and all my friends really encouraged me. Like it's such a safe space to be yourself and to find yourself as well. And that's why I was really grateful for the experience, especially when I was younger, because it really guided me through some hard times in my life and like helped me figure out who I was. And it also helped me get a lot better at talking in public. Like I can now, do stuff like this where before I would be like freaking out. And that like being on stage and having, just getting over stage fright sounds like not a big deal, but it does affect you in your own life. Like when I have to do interviews and stuff now, it has changed how I come to that and how I present myself.
For sure. So where do you see music fitting into your life as you get older and you get closer to graduating and whatnot? Is music something you want to pursue forever? You want to have a band on the side? You want to try and become a touring artist?
Yeah. So music obviously, like if I could do music as a full-time thing, I would be so happy. Like that would be, I'd be successful in life to me if I could like do music forever, you know? And like, I know a lot of us already have our own personal bands. Like I've been Medusa, shout out Medusa. But you know, a lot of these School of Rock people, they come out of School of Rock and they start their own bands, which is the whole idea of the house band program, which is, I think, is a really awesome thing. And so for me, you know, chasing music, yeah, I think that'd be an amazing thing to pursue in life.
How about you, Rosie?
Pretty much same thing. I am planning on going to college and getting a different degree, but I will always, like, I do have my own personal band, and we're still formulating it, but like, if that ever took off, I would quit everything in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? That is the dream, is to be able to be a band and play music. And it would just be so exciting to do that. I feel like that's what house band sets us up for, and that's what School of Rock wants to do with us, you know, is to let us strive as our own musicians.
Absolutely. All right. So last couple questions here. What advice would you give to any like 8 to 12-year-old kid who maybe comes out to one of the house band shows, or they're at our festival next month and they see you up on the stage and they're just like, whoa, like I want to do that, but maybe they're scared, or maybe they don't know how to start, or they don't know what to do. Like what would you tell that young person?
You can definitely do it. If just don't, like, you have to get over the fear if you want to do it. Like it's really a choice between the two. Like, how motivated are you really? And I think that's a really cool thing.
I would say just do it, you know? Like, I mean, I started and I had not picked up my instrument. He started because he liked a VR game, you know? Like, you can do it. It's not, you don't feel like you're not good enough. Don't feel like we all come in at different times, at different experience levels, and we all work together to be better people. And so don't be afraid if you're not, like, if you're new, because you will be taught and you will learn in a safe environment.
Awesome. And then the last question I ask everybody is, you know, what can the greater Omaha community, folks watching this video online, do to better support you as a musician, as a School Rock house band, as a teen trying to thrive in the creative scene in Omaha?
Listen to a wider variety of music. Because I think a lot of people just, they shrink their music down to what's popular because they don't want to get judged by people who are like, oh, well, you have to listen to this or that. I think that's ridiculous. Like, listen to what you like, do what you like, you know, and go to shows, for sure. Go to shows and just support local. Always support local.
I would say just come out, you know, you don't need to, it would be so awesome to get, you know, it's so amazing to get donations and stuff like that. But honestly, just the presence of people makes shows so much more exciting for us. It helps gain traction for us, you know, so following us or just coming out to shows is honestly some of the best support that we can ask for.
Absolutely. All right. Well, the usual like, subscribe, share, all the obligatory internet things.
Do that. I don't know what camera it's on, but do that.
Road to Summerfest show coming up this Saturday. We're raising money to help these kids go back to Summerfest once again here in Milwaukee coming up in June. And yeah, thank you guys so much for sitting down with me today.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for having us.